Chernisky Trail-A-Thon marathon. I finished first overall in 3 hours, 23 minutes, 49 seconds. Not one of my best performances in the marathon distance. Not my worst either. I'm content with it. Could have been 10-15 minutes faster today easily. I wasn't really pushing. I was just trying to stay within myself, and I'm not really in marathon shape at all. To try to do like a sub 3 right now. Been really slacking on training, so I wasn't even sure how my body was going to hold up, we'll say like after 13-15 miles, but it did. This is all on the Ghosttown Trail, the rail trail, which I always tell people beats my ass up and hands me my ass every time I run on rail trail. But I'm surprisingly right now still feel pretty good overall. So it starts in Evansburg, right past the big parking lot at the Young People's Center, and then we run from there basically backwards, I guess is what you want to call it, because that's like mile 32 way in Evansburg. So you're running backwards on the trail that some of the other races do. But about a mile and a half in, you take the newer Beulah Spur for 2 miles out and back to get the full marathon distance in. And then once you hit the main branch again, you run it the whole way down to Vittendale. You take the Rexus branch out, and then at the Doom and Dam split on the Rexus branch, which is about what, like mile 7, 8-ish, whatever range. And then you just follow that the whole way to the Doom and Dam Park. So that's your race course. Trail is a little beat up right now because of the one storm we had a couple months ago. There's some washouts and stuff, so it's not like pristine condition. So you do have to pay attention to slow down a little bit in a couple spots, just so you don't hurt yourself or trip. Not that it's a big deal. So in Evansburg to Vittendale, it's pretty much downhill, not a huge amount. So we'll say, I think it was like 750 feet of gain. Or I mean 750 feet of descent and 100 feet of gain, something like that. And to Vittendale, it's, oh man, we'll call it 14-15 miles-ish or more. I'd have to figure it out. I can't do it right now mentally. Mentally, I'm sort of checked out. But anyway, to Vittendale, and then once you hit the Rexus branch, the last 10 miles, I guess, is a steady incline. No real climbs, you know, per se, as like a trail runner would call a hill. But maybe for like a pure road runner, you will feel the incline a little bit. And I think I ended up finishing with 500 feet of gain, so there's 400 feet in that last 10 miles, but it's a steady incline, and I could feel it. I know some people can't, but I definitely could feel just that slight incline, gradual incline. It'd be like having your treadmill on probably 3. As far as elevation goes, maybe 2, but you can definitely feel there's a little bit of an incline. The plan going in was to stay within myself, keep my heart rate low, and see how things played out in the field. I wasn't sure who was registered, who was not. Again, not being in shape, I was using this more as a training long run today, since it was supported for Laurel in 2 weeks. Since this beats my body up more than actually running distance on trails or whatever, I figured this was going to be a good test and a good way to push myself to train for that 50K. 50K. So that's the mindset I was going in with today. and not just trying to like turn and burn and throw down a superb time, you know, and have my body just get beat up and regret it later. I started off a little bit slow, trying to warm up because it was chilly this morning, maybe 50 degrees when we started. It's 68 right now, so it's not terribly warm, and it's 1:30 right now. But it was nice and chilly. Which was also nice though for the fact that made running a little bit easier because it kept you cool and the air was easier to breathe in and out, so you didn't burn up as much energy. Easier to stay calm that way instead of if it was like 70 degrees or even 60 degrees, you're starting to use more energy. So it was a nice temperature this morning once you got going, and that's what I wanted to do early on, is just gradually ease into it and then slowly increase my speed. It seemed to work. It seemed to maintain my energy because I did keep my heart rate under 160 all race. At least I believe I did. I did hit some high 150s, but I don't think I ever hit 160. I'd have to look once I upload. I didn't upload my Garmin stats yet. Now I did screw up early on at that spur that we're supposed to take. There was no signage there early this morning, so I hesitated. I knew we were supposed to go there, but with no signs pointing in that direction, I stopped and hesitated and actually lost 3 to 5 minutes there. I waited for the other marathoners to come up, and we figured it out that we are supposed to go down there for that 2 mile out and back. I just wanted to make sure before I hit it, I didn't, you know, go off trail for 2 or 4 miles and then have to backtrack, because I really didn't feel like running any more than I had to today. So I made sure that I just like took off from there, did the spur and came back. It might have been a little bit less than 5 minutes or so. It might have been only like 3 or 4. Whatever that mile is, I'd have to look it up. Mile 2, whatever mile 2 is in my Garmin, would have been that mile. But I did take it easy on that incline on the way back on the spur, because it is uphill a little bit. That's where you get that like 100 feet of gain before Vintendale. Other than that, it was just pretty straightforward running it. My times were definitely a lot better first 15, 16 miles before I hit Vintendale than afterwards. So I probably added 20, 30 seconds from Vintendale on. My legs were getting a little bit tired, and just that little bit of incline slowed me down. And I also noticed my heart rate jumped up into the 150s on that incline part the last 10 miles, more so than it did the first half, where it was in the 140s. That's where I'd like to have had it stay. Should have just slowed down a little bit. Whatever. I did plug along. I think I know I pissed at like mile 7, and then in Nanty Glow at the fire hall, in the aid station, the one aid station is, I went and pooped. So that's why that mile was slower. And I do remember that was like a 10 and a half minute mile. That's just because I ran into the fire hall to poop. I was thinking about it for a mile and a half out, 2 miles that I had to poop, and I was hoping the fire hall would be open, so I'm thankful it was. Otherwise, I was just going to poop along the trail. But yes, I had a bathroom. I peed 2 other times. I know the last time was around mile 24 or 24 and a half. I forget where the other one was. So I was peeing. But after I pooped, I felt better, because I didn't poop this morning. Didn't get my pre-race in. So I was kind of worried about that. really feel like I didn't drink enough, or definitely didn't eat enough during the race. Now, I say that when I go to like Pittsburgh and stuff, and I actually run like Pittsburgh Marathon, I really don't eat anything during that marathon. I just basically drink Gatorade and water, but I keep every mile or so as I'm refilling my electrolytes and my water during that race. So it's not really a big deal not to eat there, but here with the aid station spaced out, I was just barely sipping on anything that I took. I was definitely calorie deficient and hydration deficient, and I could definitely feel it from mile 20 on. That's when I was really starting to struggle with my legs and just motivation in general. But I maybe drank 32 ounces the whole race, if that. So definitely not enough. There's mainly water at the aid stations. There's a little Propel there. I did take some Noon uncaffeinated in my one bottle, but I only drank maybe 12, 14 ounces out of that 20 bottle, and maybe 2 ounces out of the water bottle that I had. I usually just basically use the water to splash myself a couple times instead of drinking it. So it is a little bit lower, but that's why, because I didn't really drink out of it. I used it to splash myself. I did take one goo with me. I'm thankful I did. I took that maybe 18-ish. And then I had maybe half an orange during the race. Like a quarter at one aid station and a quarter at another, so maybe half an orange, and that was it. Again, not that that's a huge deal food-wise, especially on like a rail trail or like a road marathon type thing. Whereas if it was a trail, I would have been definitely hurting pretty bad, not having more calories in me. But since I stayed within myself for most of the race, it wasn't that big of a deal, since I wasn't burning up the calories, you know, being in a red zone. I was in more the zone 3 for the most part. I will say that, like I said, the trail is not in the best condition right now because of the rain or the storm that came and just like washed everything out. So you did have to pay attention, like Twin Rocks Way. Then there's a couple other spots you just had to pay attention with the leaf cover where you were stepping. And even when we hit the Doom and Dam part, that first mile or two, the dirt was a little bit slippy. I did feel my shoes sliding a little bit. And I was smart last night. Well, I guess I thought about it the other day. I really did. I guess I can't really say I thought about it last night, but last night really solidified my decision. Is I wore my training shoes, my Saucony or Saucony, whatever, Triumphs that I wear for training, like long runs. I wore them today instead of my carbon plates that are getting worn out. And it was definitely a smarter move because they were more cushiony. And just like the way the trail's set up right now, if I would have worn my carbon plated shoes, my feet would have been completely destroyed and my legs would have been destroyed. So it was definitely a smarter move to take more of a cushioned road shoe today. It definitely saved my legs a lot from getting beat up. So I'm very happy with that, I guess. When it comes to making decisions on the shoe choice today, I'm very impressed with myself for making the right call. Did wear my ISO Chill Under Armour, wore my neon green breathable shirt. I took my Ultra Spire waist belt. I did have a honey stinger in there, but I didn't touch it. I never added another tablet of electrolytes or anything. I think that's about all I had. Oh, I didn't even use my ice bandana today. But I wanted to wear my Ultra Spire waist belt to get used to it for Laurel again in 2 weeks. So that's why I wore that, not my naked belt that only holds like 2 9-ounce bottles. I wanted the extra fluid on me, so that's why I took that, so I could have 2 20s on me. Again, definitely a smart choice. Other than that, that was about it. I passed like 30 bikers on the trail today using it. Just a couple walkers. I think 2 people out running this morning that weren't in the race, I guess. I gotta say that. Like, people just using the trail this morning. So there wasn't an overabundance of trail use. But I guess, well, I guess I forgot. Central Camber had looked like their junior high cross-country team out running this morning. Saw them a couple times. I don't think it was varsity. I think it was junior high. So they were out. Just a perfect day, perfect weather. I know a couple years at this race, it was like pouring down rain last year, and it was cold another year. This year, I would say the weather was perfect. No rain in the forecast, and with the 50-degree start and only 68 right now, can't ask for much better. So with my time with 3:23, if you would have taken like 10 minutes off of that, you know, just from the bathroom break, the pooping, and then not sure at the spur and not putting the hammer down, I would say it was easily 10 minutes of time that I lost out there. So it would have put me at like a 3:13-ish. Then if I would have tried a little bit more, definitely could have got under that. Not sure overall what my pace was. I would say, I think 8-minute mile overall was like 3:30. And I think 7 was 3:10. So I would say my pace was like a 7:30 overall pace, which should have been more of a low 7 or less. Oh, I'm happy with that. My legs feel good now. They were a little bit stiff right after I stopped. They were hurting a little bit. I changed real quick. I walked around a little bit, sat down. I think they were just tired because I was dehydrated and fuel deficient. But I did get took a Fit Aid, drank a chocolate milk, and ate an Oreo there. My legs felt good. I mean, they're not 100% right now. You can tell they're a little wonky, but they're definitely not tired or sore where I'm going to be hurting for the next couple of days. I stayed the last person finished. Did talk to some people. Might be about it. Kind of winded. So next year, hopefully we get some more people to do the race. The trail will be fixed by then. Oh, where's my award? This is the award I got. Pretty cool fun thing. I got the 5K version at home, so I guess next year I'm gonna have to do the 15-miler. See if I can't do the trifecta overall. As far as complaining goes, the only complaint I really had, well, two, was not having anybody or sign at that spur a mile and a half in. That was my stupidity. Not actually taking it. And then not having more of a selection at the aid stations. It was just basically bananas and oranges, water, like Propel stuff. Other than that, I think it went smooth. There's volunteers and like the intersections, keeping us all safe. A couple people, what was nice is they actually pulled their vehicle on the road, so it was like a complete block. So yeah, a lot of good volunteers. I know a bunch of them, good people. Might have to leave it at that. I did poop nicely before I left. Got that out of the way already. So now I just gotta go home and eat a bunch of food to refuel, take a nap, so I can enjoy the rest of the day. With the race only being, well, the start line's a half an hour, but also where we pack up, or we have to get our bibs in the morning, it's only like a half an hour away, which is nice. So it's more of like a local hometown type race for me. So it's nice not to have to travel very far and go out of my way, you know, for a hotel or get up early, because I only did maybe get 4.5, 5 hours last night. So it is kind of shocking that it did perform as well as I did on that lack of sleep. That might be the norm of what I get, but definitely feeling it now. So with more sleep, probably could have did a little better too. Did have a peanut butter jelly sandwich this morning, a Nugo bar, and ate some crackers before we got on the bus to go up from Newman to Evansburg, which is only a 15-minute drive. So I had more calories than I've been taking in. I'm surprised my stomach just didn't completely give itself out, and I didn't crash too hard except for the last couple miles. Where I did want to walk a little bit. There's a few times I wanted to walk, but I was like, oh, you got, you know, 8 miles left, you got 6 miles left, you got 3 miles left. I was like, you can just keep going, don't be an asshole. But I did walk a little bit, like maybe a half mile left. My legs were starting to get a little stiff. I just needed to stop real quick and touch my toes. And then I got going again. But like I said, every time I wanted to stop, I just sort of blanked my mind out and then just kept pushing on. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna leave it at that right now. I was sure there's more I can talk about, but it's pretty straightforward enough.